Well, this is Johan Ackermann then, ahead of Toulouse away in Europe. Johan, let's start with Six Nations call-ups. Louis Rees-Zammit this morning included in the Wales squad. You must be delighted for him.
Yeah, no, very delighted. Obviously it's going to be challenging for us going forward with the preparation, but that's why I tell the players always, opportunities come in life and you have to grab it, and obviously Lewis has grabbed that opportunity well, and I'm glad for all the other guys, Jake and Cal and also Chris, and especially for Alex Craig as well, and then for Owen after a long time, just to get a bit of a call up now, and now he can work his way back in.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Owen there. I suppose he's got back in very quickly. Is he ready? I mean, he performed well enough for Gloucester last weekend when he came on for Danny.
Yeah, I do believe. The one thing about Owen is got his work ethic. He's extremely professional. He works extremely hard to always be in the best possible condition, even when through his injury he always looked at himself. That's why he came back and played at the level he played. So he will just get better and better as the weeks go past. And there's obviously still this week and next week to prepare before the first Six Nation game. So hopefully by the time they hit that and he do get an opportunity, he'll be in good form.
And you mentioned the two in the Italian squad, Callum Brayley and Jake Pelletri. I suppose after the World Cup, no surprises for them.
Yeah, they played well, I felt Cal played really good in the World Cup when he got his opportunity, and obviously we know that Jake came back from the World Cup, I think beating the most defenders and had a really good tournament. And although he hasn't played a lot for us through injury and through stuff, he showed some of his qualities against Bath.
Louis Rees-Zammit, as well as having internationals now to think about, contract sorted out here at Gloucester. How pleasing is that for the club to be able to keep their, I suppose, prized future assets?
Yeah, it's important. It's important. Credit to our academy. I think the Gloucester Academies get a lot of credit to obviously develop Zam and get him to come and play for Gloucester, and then now, like I said, in the pre-season, Zam grabbed the opportunity when we gave it to him, and everything obviously after that happened quite quickly. But like I said in my statement earlier, if he keeps humble and he keeps working hard and use this opportunity, I even think looking forward now for him, what happened with him in the last few weeks is already a successful season in my view for him. Now he must just embrace this and enjoy whatever comes his way. If a test call-up comes, then embrace that and I believe he can play there. But again, if it doesn't, he mustn't see it as a disappointment. His growth has been tremendous, and everything now is a bonus where he will learn and grow. And I think that's great from the Welsh coaching staffs to include him, Wayne Pivik, and to see that measure him, learn him that environment and experience. Obviously, as Wales got their own identity, how they want to play, etc., and him to get that exposure.
And the way that he's kept getting better, does that show that he is someone who's capable of staying grounded, staying focused, and just looking to develop?
Definitely, that's going to be his challenge in the next couple of seasons, because people is going to get more, study you more, learn about more, and you must keep evolving. We look at Johnny May, how consistent he has been at club and at international level, and all the good wingers. Even a guy like Cheslin Colby, didn't make excuses for his size. He worked on things that makes him, special. So I think that's the challenge for Zam, to keep being special, to keep learning and growing. And he showed that qualities, and we're proud of him, as we're proud of all the other guys who got call-ups. But also keep in mind, a lot of times there's players at the club that assist in that journey, when you're successful, and that's why it's a team sport.
And a big club game for them all before the international departures. How do you view going away to Toulouse for the final round of the Champions Cup?
That's the big challenge now for us, and hopefully all those guys that got call-ups plus the rest of the squad, focus will solely be on Toulouse. It's going to be a big challenge. I think they were tipped as one of the favourites before the competition started, and they didn't disappoint. They've played well, they're unbeaten, they're a quality side with a lot of stars in. So if you ever as a player want a massive challenge that's going to test you physically, mentally, emotionally, everything, it's to go and play Toulouse, but not just go and play them to make numbers up, to go there and see if you to get a win.
They're already qualified, of course, but I suppose they'll think, well, they've got seedings to play for, they've got the home record to protect. How tough do you expect it to be? Because obviously Gloucester can still qualify if you win and results elsewhere go your way.
Yeah, we, not to take anything away from Toulouse, we can't really, worry what they're going to do this week. I believe they will be as strong as they can because they got a lot to play for. They are a proud team, like you just mentioned, at home, but more than that, all those 4 teams fight for the highest block points, and that's going to obviously influence the way forward. But the reality is we can only control ourselves, we can only control our destiny and our performance. And as we've seen against Worcester, as we've seen against Bath, as we've seen against Montpellier, we didn't play for 80 minutes. We only played for 40 minutes in the second half. We're scoring tries, but you're not accurate from the first minute. So the team we're playing, they will obviously dismantle you if you're not accurate enough. And they showed that when we played them, when we lost a bit of lineouts and we brought them back in the game. So our biggest focus this whole week is, and I say this with respect, it's not about Toulouse, it's about us getting our mental and physical preparation ready to give us that chance to perform.
Do you feel you're in a better place now, though, as a team than when you played them at Kingsholm?
I hope so. I've felt we put a lot of work in our set piece. Yes, we've got obviously a bit of injuries up front at hooker and at tight head, but we've done a bit of homework on them. Look at why did they get that turnovers in the lineouts. Hopefully we won't give that possession away. And obviously we addressed what happened with Montpellier in the first half, where we gave easy possession away in the broken play. So as a team, hopefully we'll be better. But again, it's going to be a big challenge.
How's Danny Cipriani?
Unfortunately, he's got a torn calf muscle, so he's going to be out for probably 6 to 8 weeks.
But I suppose having Owen Williams back fit at least and available for this game, well timed.
Yeah, no, we can't ask that a better timing since Owen's return. But again, it's not nice to lose any player through injury, and especially Danny is a quality player. But saying that, also we've got a lot of faith in Lloyd. Lloyd has been obviously the understudy now and learned and patiently waited his chance as well. I think he learned a lot from Danny as well, and we have a lot of faith that we can start Lloydie or Owen, and the two of them will hopefully carry on keeping us up there with scoring tries and keeping the attack going.
And the front row situation, you've alluded to it already. Are there any returners? Are there any sort of changes from how it was against Montpellier?
No, it's the same group, same props that will be available for the weekend.
But actually, the way that the likes of Kieran Knight stepped up, what does that say? And Todd Gleave as well, so impressive.
Yeah, that they were good on the weekend, and Toddy was deservedly our man of the match from the coach's side. And Knight, we on purposely played in the full 80 because he played well, and we wanted to get him that experience and that time on the pitch. He hasn't played a lot of rugby, so we're very pleased. But then again, for me, we can't get overexcited, because the one thing, if you look at Toulouse's game against Connacht, is that's where they are strong, is in their tight set piece and in their scrummaging. So it's going to be a new challenge. That's past what we've done on the weekend. Won't mean anything. We have to repeat that, and Knight has to be, reset the button to be good on the weekend.
Thank you. Good luck.
What is Fraser's injury? It's been hard to sort of keep up the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's got inflammation in his knee cap. I don't know the exactly medical terms, but it's like a patella inflammation. So it's a couple of weeks, but hopefully he'll be ready for Bristol.
Yeah, and what's the latest on Tom Marshall and Charlie Sharples and Jake?
Charlie had an operation, so he's out for a couple of weeks to a few months. And Tom Marshall is 100%. He's fully fit. He's ready to play this weekend.
And Jake Ledry, do you have?
Jake is 100%. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
also available for this weekend.
And
So
obviously,
that's good. 2 good returns for us.
obviously Franco Murray was out with a head injury last week as well. How's his recovery coming along?
No, he was obviously during the week managing a head injury, but on the Thursday training he had he pulled his quad muscle, so that's what keeping him out at the moment. So again, it's not a long-term injury, but we have to take it week by week. So he's not ready for this week, but we're hoping that he'll be ready for Bristol.
With Danny being out, obviously struggled a little bit when last season when he was out. Do you feel you're better placed now to cope without him a bit?
Yeah, I do believe that each player, when you pick him, he's got his own special skill, and that's the reason why he get picked. So obviously, Danny's got certain attributes that he possesses by himself, but I do believe that Owen, and Lloydie, like I've mentioned, over the last 12, 18 months has grown tremendously in their own individual ability, what they bring. And obviously we've learned a lot as a team. If you look at the growth of the team with playing the Bilbao final, then the semi-final last season, and some big games, going forward, hopefully the same thing with that players when they played and Danny wasn't there, that the experience that Willie has picked up in the World Cup preparation, and Owen as obviously is a player with international experience, and like I said, Lloydie has been tremendous for us in the last few months. He's been he's been training well. I could have picked him any time, and we do believe that they will bring stuff a bit differently, but they've got the confidence that, like you just said, that as a team we'll still keep performing.
And also in the previous European away games, you have sort of made a lot of changes. Is there a different mindset this time, because it's like a knockout game, really, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. We feel that it's a bit different from way back. One, we want to keep momentum a bit. So obviously we'll look to pick the strongest possible team, and 2, we want to have a real opportunity, and therefore. But also the other factor is the fact that. In 2 weeks' time, we've got a break, so there's only 160 minutes of rugby left before everybody can put their feet up and have a proper break. So there's no sense of rotating now, but in 10 days from now, 12 days from now, everybody's got a break.
And obviously Toulouse, we don't know what side they play, but obviously they could bring out the big guns, Chesney and Colby. I mean, if he goes up against Lewis Rees-Summit, how much of a measure would that be of how far he's sort of come in a short space of time?
No, I think we're going to get tested right through the park. Like you've mentioned, you look at that team that they can put out there, it's a quality team. Like I just mentioned, I do believe they'll put their strongest team out. I'll be surprised if they close shop. I know they've got a big game in the top 14 the following week, but I do believe they're going to want to do well in the Heineken Cup and go unbeaten, just because of the history in the tournament. And I think they at the moment celebrating 25 years. They were the first winners of the cup, so it's a big year for them. But saying that, it's going to be a great individual battle. Obviously, if Lewis play against Colby, because Colby will test you. He will test you with his sidestep, with his speed and his ability. So it will be a great bit of almost international taste for Zam so early.
And I suppose with all the hype about Rees-Summit, Alex Craig's someone who's gone under the radar a little bit. How impressed have you been with the way he's gone through?
Yeah, no, I mean, we always knew, when I arrived, I always saw his athletic ability and his aggression that he's got. But what Alex showed this season for me was his composure, his learning ability, small little things that he missed in the past. He's really attention to detail, how he's learning everything from the line-out stuff right through to the attacking plays, to the defensive plays. But most of all, he's been physical for us. He's been really, filling Tom Savage's role that, left, and therefore he's been very good for us. And then obviously he's got the athletic ability to get through the park. So it's just great recognition for him. For, again, like you said, under the radar, he did all the dirty work, and he did a lot of good things for us. And I'm glad that Gregor has and that his team has seen that and recognised him for that.
And do you feel he's ready to play at international level?
Yeah, for sure. You know, like I said, it's you know, I do believe there's always something that these young players can learn, and I think hopefully they will, if they're not picked to start or in the 23, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, if they get exposure to train with guys who've been there for 30 and 40 and 50 tests, they will learn even more from them. But I do believe physically and skills wise, they, you know, Craig is ready to go, but you will get tested at test level, you know, and maybe there's one or two things that you will, you know, still have to learn.
Thanks, Jeff.
You've mentioned the international step up and how it can be good for the players. Is there any dread as a coach that they're sort of out of your hands and you have no control over them?
In a sense, where we are playing still Bristol and, you know, in the future playing still games, it's going to be something new. We never had that much numbers away from the club since I arrived, so that's going to be quite challenging to manage them physically, but also, you know, so that it's going to be demanding on them learning maybe two different styles and two sets of calls. But you know, I think it's something that the players will embrace and actually grow from that and learn from that. Like I really feel like, you know, all our players that came back from the World Cup has grown in their self-belief and their confidence, and hopefully that will be the same effect for the players that get call-ups now.
And with Reece Summit coming through the academy, how good is it for the club to sort of prove that you can produce this talent in such a short period of time?
No, it's absolutely brilliant. Like I said, it's credit to the academy, first of all, to the coaching staff who recognise, you know, Louis' skill and attributes, then who developed him over his career and the time at the academy. And that's what we want to do. We want our academy to produce players for us as a senior team, and hopefully, you know, Reece will be showing young players, listen, if I take my rugby serious and I put the hard work in and I get into the academy and I challenge, there's opportunity to play, you know. So it's just great for the club, and it's a very important foundation for us.